The Honourable Minister for Environment.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I too would like to basically make a small contribution on Bougainville. Firstly, at the outset, I must commend and congratulate Prime Minister, the Honourable James Marabe, and of course the President of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville on the outcome that they have progressed to date. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this is not an easy challenge, but it must be done with due care. Having said that, I'd like to basically put on record and state that we, Papua New Guinea, owe the biggest debt of gratitude to the people of Bougainville. This is simply because it was the Panguna mine that underpinned Papua New Guinea as a nationhood when it gained independence in 1975. Mr. Deputy Speaker, arising out of the Bougainville crisis, we have learned lessons, but to some extent, we in PNG now are able to realize our potential as landowners. We are able to realize as a nation that we host and own the resources that are hosted in our country. As a consequence, landowners from project areas are now able to come to the negotiation table and ask for better deals. We have seen what's happening now in Pogora, Oktedi, and I am pretty sure that into the future, there will be more of the same, following the same trend, that Papua New Guineans will now be able to ask for more. But having said that, we must not forget our historical connections with Bougainville. Apart from Panguna mine, it was Bougainville's public servants, those in the health sector, education, primary industry, who went out far and wide right around the country, that basically helped us not only to be educated, but also to access and benefit from other government services. And therefore it is important that as we deal with this, I'd like to call upon all of us to give the support that is necessary to the process that is in place. Thankfully, what had been the outcome of the successful meeting in Wabek, in the Yenga province, must be pursued with due diligence. There is no time, there is no need, and there is no space for politics to basically involve and divert the attention and the focus that we have to deal with it. We must respect this process, but more so, I would like us to respect the people of Bougainville. It is not easy because the people of Bougainville, who are our people, have sacrificed the lives of 20,000 people. And that this must be done in a way that it is going to find lasting solutions. It is not an easy task. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. What can we do? Going forward, I would like to see that we have got to now start helping the government of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville and restore services. We need to ensure that there are economic activities on the island of Bougainville. Despite the fact that the Panguna mine remained closed, Bougainville had the biggest resource in terms of agriculture. There are plantations after plantations of cacao. There are plantations after plantations of coconut, which must be restored. We have got to ensure that those plantations are up and going. If it needs being, we need to assist them to put in processes so that they can be able to ensure that those plantations get ongoing and that they can be able to go into production and restore the economy of the autonomous region of Bougainville. We must help them to create a supply chain so that what is produced can reach the markets and so that there can be revenue going back into the region. Infrastructure, and this is important. We have got to make sure that those roads that are now washed away or by impacted as a consequence of climate change, many of those infrastructures are now beyond repair. We have got to ensure that the roads that connect into the outer parts of Bougainville must be repaired. Bougainville is not only the road along the east coast. Not all the population of Bougainville live along the east coast. We have to also look at the west coast, coming into Kunua and down to Torokina and back into Bana. The roads must be connected. There's got to be accessibility because they've got a lot of good agricultural land, of which now must come into production. Mr. Deputy Speaker, one of the gold mines that the people of Bougainville have is the potential for tourism. Bougainville has got some of the most pristine scenery in the world. And that we must, as a government, as part of the restoration process of Bougainville, and driving towards into these processes, we need to ensure that the economic activities of Bougainville must be restored. And tourism is one area that has got the greatest potential. Mr. Deputy Speaker, we have got to restore back our connectivity with the people of Bougainville. It must not only be seen as government to government, but we must have people-to-people connections, interactions with the people of Bougainville. We need to see more Papua New Guineans going across to Bougainville and interact with the people across there. This is important because we have got to make sure that, whilst the process is ongoing, we all have got our part to play. So one of the things that I would like to basically stress here is that just as much as we are managing the processes as the outcome of the referendum, we must not forget also to give opportunities back to the people of Bougainville, and that we must restore the economic activities on Bougainville, which are agriculturally based. They've got one of the biggest maritime resources in this part of the region. And this is in an area where I'm pretty sure that they will be able to harvest the marine resources they have got available. But the final outcome of this, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we must have our presence, giving them support so that they know that we have not deserted them. And on this note, I would like to commend the Prime Minister and the team on both sides that basically now driving the outcome of the referendum. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.